Fibermaxxing. It is the first wellness trend in about a decade where the dietitians did not immediately put their heads in their hands. Fibermaxxing is everywhere right now. It has taken over from protein as the nutrient everyone is chasing. And the promise is simple. Eat loads of fiber and your gut, your heart, and your blood sugar all quietly get better. So today, is Fibermaxxing actually good for you? Or is it about to give 30 million people the worst Tuesday of their lives? Here is what it actually is. Fibermaxxing means deliberately building every meal around high-fiber foods. Beans, lentils, oats, seeds, fruit, vegetables, whole grains. Not a diet, not a protocol, just one nutrient promoted to main character. It started as a term on TikTok and Reddit, and it typically means aiming for at least 30 grams a day, with some people pushing toward 40 or 50. And unlike most trends, this one is built on a real gap. In the United States, government figures show that more than 90% of women and around 97% of men are not hitting the recommended daily fiber intake. The official targets are roughly 25 grams a day for women and 38 for men. Almost nobody gets there. Compare that to last year's obsession protein, where most people were already comfortably over the line and buying protein crisps anyway. So, two teams. Team Fibermaxx says finally a trend that is actually correct. Team Slowdown says yes, and you are about to learn what happens when you eat 400 grams of chickpeas in one sitting. Team Fibermaxx first, and their case is unusually strong. They have 4 points. 1. Fiber is not the boring bit of your food. It is the part your gut bacteria eat. They ferment it and produce compounds that feed the cells lining your colon and help keep everything calm in there. 2. Fiber slows how quickly sugar hits your blood, which flattens the spike after a meal. 3. It binds to bile acids, which is one of the ways it nudges cholesterol down. 4. It makes you full, which is why people eating more of it tend to eat less without trying. Their strongest point, though, is the sheer age of the evidence. This is not a new supplement with 3 studies and a podcast. High-fiber diets have been linked with lower risk of bowel cancer, heart disease, and type 2 diabetes for decades across enormous populations. When registered dietitians were asked what they actually wanted people to focus on this year, fiber came out on top. That basically never happens with a hashtag. Now, teams slow down, and they are not being killjoys. They are being practical. They have 3 points. 1. If you currently eat around 15 grams of fiber a day, and you decide on a Monday morning that you are now a 45-gram person, your gut is going to have opinions. Bloating, gas cramping, and in some cases the exact opposite of what you were hoping for. 2. This is not you being intolerant. It is your gut bacteria suddenly receiving a delivery they were not staffed for. They need time to scale up. Every dietitian quoted on this trend says the same 2 words: go slow. 3. Water matters here too, and people skip this part. Some fiber works by pulling in water and forming a gel. If you dramatically increase fiber and do not drink more, you can genuinely make constipation worse. You have built a dam and forgotten the river. Now the fair deep dive on the sciencey claim, because there is one that gets flattened constantly. Not all fiber is the same thing. Soluble fiber dissolves and forms that gel, which is the one doing a lot of the blood sugar and cholesterol work. Insoluble fiber mostly does not dissolve and adds bulk, which is the movement side. Then there is how fermentable it is, meaning how enthusiastically your bacteria eat it. Highly fermentable fibers produce the most gas, so 2 people can both hit 40 grams and have completely different weeks depending on where it came from. Chasing a single number tells you almost nothing about what you actually ate, and this matters more for some people. If you have irritable bowel syndrome, certain fermentable fibers are known triggers, and piling them on can flare your symptoms badly. If you have inflammatory bowel disease or any narrowing in your gut, or you have had gut surgery, big fiber increases are genuinely something to run past a doctor or dietitian first. Not scaremongering, just the actual reason this advice is not one size fits all. Here is the knockout point though, and it is the bit almost nobody is saying. Watch what happens next. Fibre has been named by major food industry figures as the top trend of the year. Fibre snacks, fibre drinks, fibre versions of things that were never supposed to have fibre. It is going to happen exactly like protein did. You will get a fibre-labeled, ultra-processed snack marketed at the exact people trying to eat more plants, and the label will be technically true and completely beside the point. The winning move here was always beans. It is going to be sold to you as a bar. Right, 5 fibre myths, and every one of these gets repeated daily. Myth 1. Fibre is just roughage that passes straight through and does nothing. It feeds an entire ecosystem of bacteria living in your gut, and they turn it into compounds that feed the cells lining your colon. Calling that roughage is like calling the internet a cable. Myth 2. All fibre is the same, so a supplement is a straight swap for vegetables. The decades of evidence behind fibre were built on people eating actual plants, which arrive with the fibre plus a load of other useful compounds. Supplements have their place. A scoop is still not a salad. Myth 3. Bloating means fibre is bad for you. Usually it means you went too fast. Your gut bacteria need time to scale up for a bigger delivery, and gas is literally the sound of them eating well. Annoying, mostly temporary, not damage. Myth 4. More is always better, so 50 grams beats 30. There is no medal. At the extreme end, you get discomfort, and very high intakes can interfere with absorbing some minerals. Hitting the target is the goal. Beating it is not a personality. Myth 5. You need to track it. A large gut microbiome project found that people eating a wider variety of plants had more diverse gut bacteria, which is where the popular 30 plants a week idea came from. Variety was the signal, not one hero number in an app. So, that is what it is not, which just leaves what it actually is. And the honest answer is this. The fibre part is right. The maxing part is the problem. This is the rare trend where the core science is decades deep and genuinely good, and the failure mode is entirely in the suffix. The moment fibre becomes a score you are chasing, it stops being nutrition and becomes the same optimization trap as every other trend, just with more legumes involved. Practical takeaway, and it is boring on purpose. Add one high-fibre thing to a meal you already eat, rather than redesigning your entire diet. Give it a couple of weeks before you add the next one. Drink more water as you go up. Chase variety rather than a number, so different beans, different grains, seeds, fruit with the skin on, vegetables you would not normally buy. And if you have a diagnosed gut condition, talk to a doctor or a dietitian before you go anywhere near a big increase. This is general information, not medical advice, and your gut is not the same as anyone else's on the internet. So, are you Team Fibermaxx or Team Slow Down? Subscribe to Health You Decide. Tell us in the comments the single food that finally sorted you out. And go easy on the chickpeas.